Alright guys, how you doing? It's CK here, and today I'm going to be giving you my top 25 super/hypercars that I would like to see in Forza Horizon 3. Feel free to let me know yours in the comments below, and just to let you know, it is in no particular order, so yeah, let's get right into it. So I think this has to be the most obvious one right here, the new Bugatti Chiron, or Chiron, however the hell you want to pronounce it. I don't really care how you pronounce it. I pronounce it Chiron, everyone to their own. Now, in this picture specifically, holy moly, it looks very nice in black. I've not seen one of these in black until now. It's very stealth-like, and I immediately love the styling of this thing compared to the Veyron, because the Veyron was kind of a pig for me, but this one is super up-to-date, super modern, super crisp, and super clean. It's just general super, well, hyper in its own case. Blooming 1500 horsepower there or thereabouts, maybe around about 1450 odds. That is bonkers, man, absolutely bonkers. So you can guarantee you're going to see a very special face-off if this eventually does come into the game. Now, probably one of the best things to come out of the brand new Top Gear is the review of the McLaren 675 LT. Jensen Button's part. Let's just say that. Jensen Button's part. That is the best thing, well, one of the best things to come out of the new series of Top Gear. I am in love with this supercar. It is one of my favourites, and it's amazing just the slightest tweaks what they can do. It's become a whole different animal. It is incredible compared to the 650S. I mean, the 650S is a fantastic car, right? But there's just something about this, and I honestly think Chris Evans was right on something. It is kind of legendary now. To me, this is kind of like a modern F1, because it's not as powerful as the P1, obviously, because it is kind of like the car underneath it, but it is that sort of like 660 horsepower range, whereas the McLaren F1 had 626, so it is running about the same range, and I do believe this is the sort of like modern day F1. That's just my opinions, guys, but if you look at the proportions and everything, and just all the sharp angles, just, yeah, definitely. So this is one of my most hyped cars, for sure, if they do bring it in as DLC or straight into the game. And sticking with McLaren, we have got the 675 LT's little brother. It is the 570S. Now, I have seen Chris Harris's review on this, and apparently it is meant to be the most fun McLaren to date. So I really hope this comes in, because I want to fling it around the Outback. How funny would that be, take this thing off-road? God damn, if that comes in, then hell yeah, I'm doing that. But obviously I'll be doing like a proper review if it does come in as well. But I just love the looks of this. It's a McLaren which doesn't look like any other McLaren, which is good. I mean, only this, the 675 LT and the P1 are different to like the sort of other McLarens, because all the other ones are really kind of based around the MP4-12C. For example, the 650S, the 650S Spider, and just general other ones as well. But this is a cool little supercar right here. Now, you knew this was going to be on here, don't you? I am a massive Jag fan, so this is the Jaguar CX-75. Oh, I'm just quivering. I am quivering when I see this picture right now. It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you don't know what this thing is, you might remember it as the bad guy's car in the James Bond film Spectre. Oh, it looked good in orange as well, but I am loving it in this blue. Oh, man. So it's already in Drive Club, but I really hope Playground get their hands on it and do like a proper graphics thing, whatever they do and everything, a graphics scan, and bring it into the game. Because this is an amazing car, and it's Jaguar's second supercar. We had the XJ220, and this is essentially a modern day version. So, yep, bring it in, please. Now, I was a wee bit unsure on putting this certain car on the supercar list, because it's the Honda NSX, the brand new one. Now, the old one was an out-and-out sports car, and this thing is basically a modern day supercar. It is meant to compete with the likes of the Audi R8 V10, the Porsche 911 Turbo, not quite up there with the Lamborghini Huracan and the 488 GTB. It's running about the R8 V10 levels, I would say. In terms of looks, in this black, it is stunning. It is very stealth-like, just like the Chiron that I mentioned earlier on. But yeah, what would you guys categorise this as? More of a sports car or a supercar? I would say just like a base supercar, if you know what I mean. Just like the starter, a baby supercar, I'd probably say. Maybe a baby supercar, just like the 570S. Now prepare yourself for some Italian bulls, because I've literally got 5 of them on this list. Right about that. Starting off with the Lamborghini Egoista. This is a jaw-dropping concept, fucking Sean Connery. It's a concept, yes, a concept. But they revealed this back in 2014, I believe? 2014 or 2013, and it is the definition of evil, especially that back end. It's like a Huracan turned into a freaking Decepticon. That is what it's like. It is mental looking, and orange rims, obviously. And the way you get into this thing is the actual windshield opens up like a freaking fighter jet. And then, in my opinion, this is the modern day Miura. I'm really sad that it didn't actually get made, but there has been a couple of concept cars come into Forza recently, and I would love for this to be added to the collection as well. It is the Lamborghini Esterion, or Esterion, however you want to pronounce it. It just looks like a brilliant looking, like, cruising car, if you know what I mean. It doesn't really look like a car you would bash the roads in. It's kind of similar to the Miura of old, if you know what I mean. It was meant to be more of a GT style car, because it's not like proper aggressive looking, it's more smooth and curvy. That's what you would expect from a GT car. It is gorgeous. And I know a lot of people are going to be happy that I've included this on this list. It is the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Why was this thing removed? God knows, because it is a phenomenal thing to drive, especially back in Forza Horizon 1 and Forza Motorsport 4. Probably one of the best handling cars in either of those games, because it is raw, it's simple, it's theatrical, it's loud, it's everything you want from a Lamborghini. It is batshit insane, and we need it back. So next up, we've got 2 special edition versions of the Gallardo. This is the Super Trofeo Stradale. Now, I don't recall this being in any game currently, so I know we have had the Super Leggera version of the LP570 or LP560 for a while now in the games, but I think they should up the ante a little bit, bring in the STS, and then next we have the Balboni, a rear-wheel drive version, and of course the iconic stripe, which everyone just flipped out over. Such a gorgeous thing, one of the purest Lamborghinis to date. Now, you'll be glad to hear that this is the last Lamborghini on this list. It is the Huracan Spider. I don't think I need to say anything about this car, because it kind of speaks for itself. Look at it in sky blue. I think, honestly, in my opinion, I think the Huracan was meant to be a Spider from the get-go, because the lines just match up so well, man. The back end's raised up a little bit more, as you can see. Oh man, I can go on forever about this car. Just give us it, please, please. And then to its arch rival, the Ferrari 488 GTB. Now, I do hope they do what they done in Forza Horizon 1, because as you all know, the 488 is actually a pre-order car, like the coupe version of this. So I hope the Spider version is actually in the game, so we actually do have a version of the 488. But it looks stunning in yellow, definitely in this picture as well, next to the water. And I'm going to be taking many, many photographs of this car if it is in. Now we're moving on to a little section of the list, highlighting some supercars that aren't really out there in terms of the public eye, and I feel as if they should get more recognition. Kind of similar to what they done with the Eagle Speedster back in Forza Horizon 1, and the Devon, the Bertoni concepts and stuff. So this is the Rezvani Beast. What a name! What a freaking name that is, man. Now, it immediately reminds me of a Corvette C7 kind of mixed with a Lamborghini Aventador J. That's what this reminds me of. But if you've been speaking of J, actually, if you've been watching Jay Leno's Garage, she actually done a drive in this thing, and it sounds incredible. Big V8 engine, I believe, and wow, it is jaw-dropping. I love the rims as well. Really kind of like, it's one of them Japanese throwing knives. Whew, stunning looking thing. definitely consider bringing this one in, Playground. Now this car I think is really deserving of more attention. It is the Ariana Hasara, I believe it is, or Hasara. I cannot pronounce it, but to me this looks like a Ferrari 488 mixed with a McLaren MP4-12C mixed with a Gallardo. And that is one hell of a combination because it looks stunning in this white. Now I'm not too sure how much power this actually produces, but in terms of looks alone, it definitely deserves to be like a new kid in the supercar scene. Now I'm honestly surprised why they haven't brought this thing in already. It's been out for a few years. It is the Marussia B2. One of the most angular supercars that I have ever seen. The doors kind of integrated into the actual arches and stuff, as you can see. Oh, it's definitely a unique looking car. There's nothing else out there which looks like this. Well, the Veneno looks a bit like it, but that is roughly the only thing that does. Yet again, it's a car which deserves more attention. It's a car, if you want to be unique, you can get it and you will stand out. And speaking of being unique, the 2014 year. Now, let me just say that, the 2014 year GTA Spano. The new one, the front end looks ugly as fuck. But this is the one in the Need for Speed movie, and this really needs to come in, because I'm not too sure, it's not really the most beautiful thing in the world, but it has that sort of Lexus LFA vibe about it. I don't know what it is, I don't know why it's giving me that sort of vibe, but it's not the prettiest thing in the world, just like the LFA. It's not the fastest thing in the world, just like the LFA, but it is an incredible machine. I've driven this in NFS Rivals. I know of all games it has to be NFS Rivals, so I would really like to see this thing in Forza. Now, I know what you might be thinking. EK, is that a freaking Corvette C3, kind of mixed with a TVR, mixed with a James Bond villain car? No, it is not. It is actually a Lucra. Now, as I said before, it does heavily remind me of a Corvette C3 from this angle on the side. It is stunning from this angle. As you can see, 4 exhausts coming out the side. I don't really want to show off the front end because it's kind of ugly, but the back end is really cool as well, and as you can see, it is a convertible as well. And moving over to its brother, this is the Lucra LC470, and as you can plainly see, it is essentially a modernised version of a Shelby Cobra, or at least it's taken inspiration from that, because from this rear end, oh, she's a beauty. She is an absolute beauty, and it kind of reminds me of the Centenario with them sort of green, like, diffuser bits there. Pretty cool looking. This was on Top Gear USA, I believe, in one episode. It dominated a Celine S7, but for me, it's just the noise and the looks of this car. In my opinion, from this actual view, it kind of looks like an American Eagle Speedster. I don't know if you guys are getting that vibe, but I am definitely getting that. And then we move on to the car which nearly killed Jeremy. It is the Zenvo ST1, kind of parked outside Monaco. Looks magnificent in this orange. Over 1,000 horsepower in this thing, I believe. And it would be a proper animal to drive around the streets of Australia. I do believe I've driven this thing in Grid 2, I think it was. Not exactly the best game ever made, but this thing was a really fun car to fling around, but it properly stands out. It really does stand out. It's a proper raw machine, just like the Sesto Elemento. Just remember to watch out for any flames though. Now, before there's tons of comments saying, oh, this thing isn't a supercar, this thing isn't a supercar, I would probably say it's kind of like a super muscle car, so I've included it in this. Don't know what you guys are going to make of that, but yeah, this is the Dodge Viper ACR. That booty and that wing though, oh my god, and I've just realised the size of the tyres on this thing. They are wider than Nicki Minaj's ass. Holy shit, that is insane, man. But we all know this thing has broken several track records around the world, and it is an absolute meme machine. And I'm quite surprised that they haven't already brought it into Forza Motorsport 6 yet. So if they do add it in Horizon, it's going to be a bit weird taking it off-road, considering the fact that it's essentially a race car for the road. And speaking of which, oh, these are lined up perfectly today. We have got the Aston Martin Vulcan. Oh man, did everyone's jaws drop when this thing was revealed. Now, from the front end, obviously it's kind of like the FMJ from freaking GTA 5, because that's what this was based on, and the 4GT. Just bring it in, please. This is an amazing car. I know this is what I say for every single one of these, but it is true. It is true. It is a fantastic looking car. It's got a roll cage in it and everything, so if you do decide to go careering off an Aussie cliff, I think you should be okay. The insurance will be freaking sky high though, but you should be okay. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And then we have the Pagani BC, or the Pagani Huayra BC. I've driven this in Project Cars, loved it in that, and I extremely want this in Forza as well, because, yet again, really raw car to drive. It is a sensation to look at. I don't know what you guys make of the rear wing, but it's quite unique looking. It is definitely one of the most unique looking wings, how it's like properly on the arches. It's like little pincers. Just the end of it just reminds me of pincers. And the rims, oh man, oh mamma mia, it is good. Very, very nice. So, yeah, bring that in, please, Playground. So I think a good rival for the BC would be this. It is the Apollo Arrow, formerly known as Gumpert. Now, this thing reminds me of a McLaren P1 GTR, a Ferrari FXXK, and a Noble M600 for some reason. But this was one of the big reveals at this year's Geneva Motor Show. It definitely picked... Now, this was one of the big crowd pleasers at the Geneva Motor Show this year. A lot of people loved it. I was a wee bit anxious at first on the looks, but after looking at it in this profile pic, oh, I'm down. I am definitely down big time. Now, moving on to the second last car, and I know what you might be thinking, is that an Enzo with a wing? No, it's not. It is an Arash AF10. Now, I think it heavily is inspired by the Enzo, but to my eye, it doesn't really look as good. I was going to say, I don't know what to make of this thing in terms of look from the back, actually. It's the best shot I could find of this, but I've seen one of these things without the wing, didn't really like it, but with the wing, it's pretty nice. It's, yet again, another unique car. Now, there is another car from Arash, which I've sadly not got a picture of. It is the AF8, I believe. It's meant to be a smaller version of this. It looks a bit better in my opinion as well, so definitely give that a Google. And then lastly, I seen this thing first at the Goodwood Festival of Speed, some pictures online of that. It is the Sin Motors R1. It looks like a mini Hennessy Venom, kind of mixed with a, God knows what it's mixed with, like a Ginetta at the front. It does look like a bit like a Ginetta, but that's the vibe that it's given me. It's kind of like a mini Hennessy Venom with a Ginetta. It does look pretty good. It does look pretty good. I can see a few people in the comments are going to say, oh, that front end, it looks a bit ugly. It definitely looks a bit ugly, but yeah, again, everyone to their own. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. So anyway, guys, that is going to round it up for my first wish list for Forza Horizon 3, my top 25 super/hypercars. Let me know yours in the comments below, and if you have any other lists that you want me to make, I've actually got 4 other lists up and coming, so keep an eye out over the next few days for that. They're going to be really good, man. They're going to be really good, but as I said, let me know your supercars and hypercars that you want to see in Forza Horizon 3, and if you could tweet this video to Playground Games and Turn 10 Studios on Twitter and let them know about it. It'll give them more ideas, it'll give them some more cars to add in for DLC or maybe into the game before it comes out. That would be great, and if you are watching any of them companies, Turn 10 and Playground, big thumbs up, loving the game so far, and yeah, it'd be great if you could actually listen to some of these ideas. Thank you very much for the support, guys. It is always appreciated, and I love yous all. Thank you very much. See you in my next one. Peace. Click left for an in-depth breakdown of the Forza Horizon 3 auction house and map gameplay, and right for some fun in the new GTA helicopter.